Sorry that the short at the last video did end a little bit abruptly. I forgot I only had 15 seconds to do the short. So everything seems to be going better on my YouTube channel. I'm getting a lot more subscribers, likes, watch hours, and other things I need so far. But can I please have those who are watching my videos and are not subscribing to please subscribe? Because when you subscribe to my YouTube channel, you are not only helping me see what kind of content I need to do for people with autism and other special needs, to enjoy Disneyland, California Adventure, and the whole Disneyland resort, but you're also helping with services needed for the channel itself. I definitely couldn't have gotten through all of these hoops without my subscribers, my viewers, people who have commented, even though I really would love some more comments because I haven't gotten those in a long time either. I would also like some more suggestions for some topics that people would like me to cover for the Disneyland Resort. Either, come up with a idea for a land you would like me to talk about. Um, any more stuff you would like to know about me or the whole Disneyland Resort, transportation, options for the Disneyland Resort and AMTRAK. And also, hi, I see your chat head, Christian. So it's nice to meet you. It's nice to see somebody on here doing a chat head. I love to see those. Anybody have anything so far that they would like to suggest for another topic for my YouTube channel in the future? I would love to see that. Let me tell you a few things that I've been doing so far. The next time I'm going to the Disneyland Resort is on April the 4th. On April 4th, I will be just going for the day to Disneyland, but actually starting out at California Adventure. I will be riding the Soaring Over California while it's here for a limited time during the Food and Wine Festival at California Adventure. I love soaring around the world. Comment if you do as well and give it a thumbs up if you do. I like soaring over California personally a lot more than soaring around the world, because I believe, like a lot of Californians do, that soaring over California has a very special feel to it that soaring around the world does not. I love the smell of the orange trees. I like going on the ride itself because I love the music soundtrack, and I really just love the ride in general. And it's nice and cool in there, especially when it can be hot sometimes. We all know what living in Southern California is like sometimes. It's cold and windy right now, but sometimes, oh my gosh, can it get hot? And it could get sweltering during summer. I really hope when I go in April that it's not going to be too hot, but at the same time, maybe not too cold. When I have to put my jacket on a lot, sometimes I get kind of annoyed because wearing my jacket kind of makes me feel like I'm in a lot of layers and sometimes feel constricted. Even though I usually use my goofy zip up jacket. Anybody so far on the channel have any questions or, you know, any engaging questions that you would like to ask? Because I'm open and the chat room is open. I'm always able to talk at least for a little bit during the video. So far, I'm trying to engage the audience the best I can. And sometimes it is a little bit hard because a lot of people are watching a ton of videos on YouTube or just kind of, browsing while they're doing stuff. And that's perfectly okay. I just like to see if I will show you something fun, but I do have to kind of sit up a little bit more and I will turn my camera around. I'll show you something funny. Hold on a second. This is our dog Spike over here. You can tell Spike likes to lay in his bed in an interesting, well, actually, Ellie's bed, in a weird position. He's a very silly dog. Spike, like I said in another video to show you more personal stuff, is 14 years old. He's a pit bull lab, but he acts like a Labrador. He's a lover, and he's very silly. He leans out of her bed being really silly and goofy. So sometimes his nickname, as my favorite Disney character, sometimes I call him Goofy because he is a goofy dog and he's afraid of his own shadow, as I say. This is Ellie. Ellie is, we think she has Dachshund Hound, Chihuahua, and Miniature Pinscher. She loves my Mickey pillow and my Disney blanket from Disneyland. I'm not sure why she's addicted to it. I think she loves the softness. She's 2 years old and she's really sweet, but sometimes she can be a little goofball and feisty. So her nickname sometimes is, another Disney character I can compare her to is probably the feistiness and sassiness of Pluto. Even though Pluto's a male and Ellie's a female, sometimes she can be more like Pluto. I have another YouTube video, and I'm going to turn my camera back around now. I have another YouTube video where on our wall we showed you some wall decals of Goofy and Pluto and why they were there. As I said, Goofy is for Spike and Pluto is for Ellie because their personalities are kind of more like those characters. Another thing that I would like to suggest to people is if they have any idea which show at Disneyland and or California Adventure they are most excited about, please post in the comments down below. I would love to hear what you're most excited for. I am very excited for the Main Street Electrical Parade returning and World of Color in California Adventure. I love those shows because of their timelessness. Most of their theming to me has been really great over the years. And I also just generally love to go have fun and do nighttime spectaculars. I also am really hoping that pretty soon more options become available, maybe besides the celebrate gospel thing in Disneyland, maybe other stuff will come to that theater too. I'm not sure what else is going to happen, but I'm looking forward to seeing that theater possibly being utilized a little bit more. I'm not sure what's going to happen from here. It's been really hard trying to get back to being as normal as possible, even at the Disneyland Resort. But the cast members are doing a great job, and I'm thankful for them. I'm thankful for each and every cast member, and a lot of the guests that I meet are so helpful and so kind. And if I need something, a lot of times somebody, can make sure that I'm really safe there, because I've had some, problems with either, even though I've gone to Disneyland for so long, if I'm not familiar with something or it's heavy foot traffic, sometimes I get a little bit lost or just confused. And unfortunately, one of the last times I was there was a situation at one of the shops in Disneyland, and a guest was yelling really loud and causing mayhem and generally being really rude to this cast member. However, I forgot her name, but she handled everything like a champ, and I was just like totally shocked about how hard it is to stick to your training, be brave, and, not, get angry too much at the guests. It must be really difficult. So I give that cast member kudos. Another thing that can sometimes happen, and I know this is true for me, is when you start getting really, really tired after 1 or 2 days at the parks, the one thing that can be super frustrating is if you're so tired that your mood starts going sour, or you just really feel like, you're in pain and everything. Still, don't take anything out on, the security guards outside of the parks or the cast members or other guests. I've never, personally gotten too angry with guests except for when, not this last time, but in December, somebody tried to cut me in line when I was going to Pirates of the Caribbean and told me not to tell a cast member, and I said, no, I will not, let you cut me in line for one. And yes, I am getting a cast member. She tried to stop me by holding me back with their hands, and I said, let go, put her hands down, and walked over toward the cast member. When the cast member started realizing she was talking about cutting the line, they did the right thing and said, can you please get back to where you were, or go to the beginning of the line, or you can, leave the area. The person didn't like getting told what to do so much, so she got out of the line and flipped off the cast member, which was not only very rude, but really immature. I really personally just got really to the point where I was like, oh my gosh, did that really happen right now? And not only that, I wanted to blurt out laughing for some reason because I was embarrassed. So don't be that, treasured guest at Disneyland that does something and gets told to have a Disney day, because if you hear that, it means you did something bad. Have a Disney day is actually more of an insult than anything. It means, yeah, you're not very welcome to cast members at that point. You've ruined their day with your attitude. So don't be the person that tries to ruin people's experience at the parks. Be smart, be cautious, be kind, and even help others who may be having a less than stellar experience in the theme parks. I'm going to ask you, what was the most embarrassing thing that has happened to you at the Disneyland Resort that you want to share? I think my most embarrassing time, one of them at the Disneyland Resort, is when Disneyland started flattening all the curbs and everything down on Main Street. I forgot how long the project has been going on now, but some of the areas are flat while a few areas will still have the curbs. And one time, one of the projects wasn't quite completed and I tripped and fell. And I was really embarrassed because, one, I just fell in front of everybody. And two, the worst thing was I had no idea what people's reaction was going to be. Were people going to laugh? Were people going to help me up? Or I was just going to, lay there trying to get up? No, luckily, somebody found out that I had tripped over the curb. Even though she had the stroller with her, she helped me up, which was so nice. I was thankful for that guest for, making sure I wasn't hurt or anything, or even have to go to first aid or something, which would also be embarrassing to me. It's tough when somebody does get hurt, but if you do get hurt at all at the Disneyland Resort, like minor or moderate, stuff like that, go to first aid. Make sure that if you're bleeding for any reason, like you've cut your knee or your finger or anything, you report it to first aid pretty quickly if you don't have any band-aids. That's the one thing a lot of people forget to bring to the Disneyland Resort is band-aids, Neosporin, gauze, any of those things. And it can take up some room in your bag depending on what size bags you have. But don't be the person that, doesn't have something when you don't need it. Another thing I have to use when I'm there a lot of times is sunscreen, because as you can tell in all the videos, I'm extremely fair-skinned. I burn even when it's maybe in the 70s even. So I always have sunscreen with me and make sure that I'm not going to be burned by the sun. I want to make sure I'm not going to be burned, because that would hurt so bad and pretty much ruin your experience. So far, hopefully everybody is enjoying the live stream so far. Now I'm going to ask this next question is, who is really sad about Toontown closing on March 9th? Yes, you've heard that correctly. Mickey's Toontown at Disneyland will be closing on March 9th for a full renovation for about a year, maybe a little bit more. I'm not sure because the reopening date, of course, has not been announced. Hopefully, the land will be really nice and everything when it reopens. I have to say I'm a little sad because of the nostalgia Toontown has had all of these years. I'm kind of happy, but nervous about what I'm going to see in the new Toontown. Kind of, wondering what shops are going to stay open or close, what restaurants, if any, are going to survive. Um, you know, I'm excited about Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway coming to Mickey's Toontown in 2023. So, another thing I will be probably a little sad and sentimental about is maybe the Chippendales treehouse closing down forever. I went in there a lot, even when I've had trouble with stairs pretty much my whole life. I used to go when it had the ball pit. I used to go in there. I used to do the bounce house till I couldn't anymore at Goofy's house. I also remember, um, running around just probably wearing my parents out when I was little, going into those lands. My mom vaguely remembers going into Toontown and watching us running around and everything. But the last time I took my mom to Disneyland, we were going to go into Toontown together, but she kind of tired out, and that was okay. She got to see plenty of other things, which was incredible, including going into the Tiki Room and Pirates of the Caribbean and Haunted Mansion. My mom really had a nice time too at the hotel, which was really special for her. Um, really got to enjoy that time and say it was nice that we got to experience that one more time. And that now, the other thing I'm going to ask you is, has anybody had a experience with, any trouble finding certain merchandise or finding a certain hotel that they may want to look into? I can also help with that information. I also can help somebody who might need advice on where the wheelchairs or the strollers are located at Disneyland. Or if any ride operating systems may be a little bit tricky or sort of, not stellar for people with special needs, which there's a few of them, but not that many. I would say Disneyland and California Adventure are some of the most accessible theme parks in California. Way more than, let's say, Universal. And even, now I love Knott's Berry Farm, but sometimes even they don't have the most stellar, stuff for people with special needs. But Disneyland and California Adventure have really upped their game when it comes to helping people with special needs enjoy the theme parks. So I'm going to go for now, but I hope you've enjoyed this live stream. Comment down below if you have any questions, comments, or suggestions. Please like, subscribe, and enjoy my other videos on my channel. Thank you. Bye.